am so excited to be doing this 1 year review video of my Birkin 25. As you guys know, I got this handbag back in April 2022 while I was in Paris. I will link those videos down below on the Hermes appointment system, how to score an appointment in Paris, all of that information and what I learned while I was there will be linked down below. By the way, welcome back to my channel. My name's Megan. On my channel, we discuss fashion, luxury, handbags, and lifestyle. If you're interested in any of those topics, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notifications bell down below. My goal with this channel is to help you find the you in fashion. A little bit about what I want to talk about in this video today is owning this handbag, getting to know this handbag from start of me getting the handbag. I'll do a little bit of just information that I've dropped kind of throughout the last year. I've done try-ons of this handbag several times, styling of this handbag, pricing I talked about in the very first video, showing you all of what came in the box. All of that's discussed in the very first video, so I won't bore you guys with that information today, but I really wanted to hop on here and just talk to you guys about what owning this handbag a year later has been like. So starting back from the beginning, I went to Paris. I read tons of blogs about scoring a handbag in Paris. I went into the store almost every day that I was in Paris, and finally on the day before we left, I was able to get the appointment for this handbag. You go into the appointment knowing that it's not completely guaranteed on whether or not they will even give you one of these handbags. You go in, you let them know what your wish list is, and you hope that they have something that matches in the back and that they are willing to offer you that item. So I went in knowing that I wanted a Birkin as my first choice. I told him a Birkin or a Kelly, but when he asked me, which one would you prefer? I did say a Birkin was the very first one I wanted. I also very much loved the 25 size. So I told him because I'm petite, I was hoping for a 25 size. I told him that I wanted a neutral because I wanted to be able to wear it often. And this is what he came out with. So as far as that experience in general, one of the biggest questions I've gotten is, was it worth it? Was it worth it to plan a trip to Paris, pay for airfare, pay for the hotel cost, the time that you consider when going into the store every day, and having to accommodate your plans really and truly along going with this appointment that you have set? And my answer to that is, if the story goes like it did in my case, absolutely yes. If you are able to go, make an appointment, get the handbag purchase, that is well worth it. In my opinion, I feel like it was such an amazing experience to go through, be able to get this handbag from the flagship store. And if you are considering whether you want to shop with your local store or go through getting your handbag in Paris, it's difficult because I know that the considerations the appointments are limited and it truly is a lottery system. But if the story is a success, I would say it is definitely worth it. So I wanted to address that question here in the video today. Would I do it again? Would I go back to Paris and try to get an Hermes handbag? The answer is absolutely yes. First things first, mine is in the E10 color with the palladium hardware, and it is in the Togo leather. Talking about a little bit of views of the bag, so I won't go into all the front, the back, the sides, but what I do want to talk about here is any wear or tear that I've noticed with the handbag. And luckily there is not a lot, but I wanted to point some things out to you guys that I know are common areas that we look for when it comes to buying pre-loved Hermes handbags, and where I noticed that maybe some of that wear comes from just using the bag for the past year. I want to look at the hardware first because I know that that's a common place that we look at for wear to this handbag. So when I look at the wear to my handbag, you may see a couple of scratches to the hardware on my bag, but not anything that makes me concerned about wanting to wear it or to where I feel like it's that noticeable just regularly when I'm wearing the handbag. And then another common place, we want to look at the corners. There are kind of the corners of my bag there. Not really much wear to those. We got a few good looks just overall of the handbag itself and the wear and tear. So as I said, the corners are a common place that we notice wear and tear to this handbag. And I think one of those reasons are, as you can see, the corners come out just a little bit from the actual handbag. So I find myself being really, really careful when I'm getting in and out of the car that I'm not hitting the sides of this handbag up against things, which is where it comes into contact with it most commonly. Also, when you sit it down, if you notice, the corners come down just a little bit on the sides there. So I also noticed that it would be very common to get wear on the corners there from the way the handbag sits just regularly and ordinarily. So that is something to consider when it comes to wear and tear of this bag. But as you can see, a year later, even in those most common places that you're seeing wear and tear to this handbag, I don't seem to have much of that. And it's not so much that I baby my handbag, but I am very careful with my handbag, and I am very conscious of where I am, what I'm doing when I have this handbag. Now, something else I want to point out is the handles. That is also a very common place that we see wear and tear to these handbags, and especially if you're like me and you use a lot of products, I do recommend the Twillies to go along with your handbag. The reason I did not put on my Twilly today is because I really wanted you guys to get a good view of the bag without anything else on there, just like the bag itself. But absolutely, ordinarily, I would have my Twillies on. Now, I've seen other videos that say that the Twillies, if you have maybe one of the darker colors of the handbags, you don't need as much, which I could definitely see. But if you are getting one of these handbags and you're getting a color that is not dark to where you're really not going to see anywhere to the handles, I would always put on your Twillies. Always, always, always. Looking inside of the bag, I always keep my raincoat in there. I don't have any inserts in the bag. I'm not opposed to inserts. I actually have one for one of my Chanel double flat bags, and I would consider one for this one, but I just haven't ordered one yet. And I find that the packaging that it came with does a pretty good job. So that is actually how I store my bag. I put the original packaging inside of it, and then usually I will bring these in just a little bit closer like that when I store it. But as you guys can see, I did that in the beginning of the video as well, and maybe that's part of a con, is these do tend to loosen up pretty easily, or especially in my case, they loosen up pretty easily and it doesn't stay like this for very long. Now, I will show it to you guys closed as well, because I know that that's not one way that I typically show this handbag. This is the handbag closed. One thing I will say about this is a con when it comes to wearing the handbag, because for me to get it closed like this, it did take a good bit of effort for me to get it completely closed. And that's why when you see people wearing these handbags, oftentimes they are worn open, because the idea of trying to close it and open it wearing it on a regular day would be very, 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 very difficult. So although it looks wonderful like this, I would not typically wear it like this when I am going out, nor when I am storing it, to be honest, because I just want to walk in, grab it, and go. Finalizing this video with the pros of the handbag, the cons of the handbag. Would I buy it again? Pros of the handbag definitely are the sturdiness of the leather. The Hermes Birkin is very, very, very well done. This has shown up on my list on multiple occasions of my favorite handbag in my collection. And as I told you guys in previous videos, not only because it's a Birkin, but really because of the construction and the true craftsmanship of this handbag. It really, really, really is wonderful. So huge pro on that. Another pro is, although they tell us it's pretty delicate, it comes with its own raincoat. It definitely can go out in the rain as long as you get it in and you dry it off. Would I go out and purposely try to get it wet? No, but it's a lot sturdier than we think. And I do not feel like overall I have to baby this handbag, which is so nice, because as I was telling you guys, sometimes with my Chanel lambskin, I am really, really, really nervous to take it out because of fear of doing something to the lambskin leather, which is so delicate. So those are truly pros of this handbag. Cons of the handbag, I feel like, as I mentioned earlier, are going to be more technical things. So as I mentioned earlier, when you're wearing the handbag completely closed, it's not that functional, so oftentimes you are forced to leave it open, which maybe when it comes to traveling or going certain places wouldn't be the best handbag to take alongside with you. So say for instance, when we got back from Puerto Rico, this was not one of the bags that I took because I usually do wear it open and I wouldn't want someone trying to go into my handbag. So I would say that that is a con when it comes to security and trying to make sure that you have the handbag closed. This one may not be the best choice for this. Another reason I wouldn't maybe go with the 25 size is if you typically carry a lot of things. So the 25 size absolutely will carry your daily essentials, but if you are looking to take this handbag to work, I would go with a larger size than the 25. But when it comes to what I use my handbags for, which is going out, I don't really take any of these handbags to work with me. I feel like it is perfect for that. And especially if you're fairly petite, I'm 4 feet 11 inches. I feel like the 25 is the perfect size for me. When it comes down to the question of would I purchase this handbag again, would I purchase another Birkin 25? 100% yes. A year later, I have zero regrets. I am super impressed with how this handbag has held up over a year's time. As much as I use it, this is one of my most worn handbags of 2022, and it still looks fantastic. If you guys are interested in the Birkin 25, I hope this gives you a little bit more information. I hope that it helps you feel a little bit more confident on going through the process. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, comment down below. I truly do look at all those comments and I try to comment back to each and every one of you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.